welcome back to Biomes. This time we are talking about the Weddell Sea. The Weddell Sea is this big area right up north of Antarctica. The Weddell Sea was named after James Weddell, a Scottish sailor who was, I think, the first person to ever actually sail into it. It's very, very close to the Drake Passage, which I've covered before, and while not nearly as treacherous to travel, is still very cold, very dismal, and has rather low biodiversity in it. And it does share quite a bit of the same or similar wildlife as the Drake Passage. Some of the wildlife found in the Weddell Sea include seals like this one, which is the Weddell seal, which is not found exclusively in the Weddell Sea, however it is the most common seal found within that area. Other seals include this guy, the crab-eater seal, as well as the slightly less commonly found leopard seal. The Weddell Sea is also a very good place for whales, including this one, the common minke whale, as well as humpback whales and occasionally sperm whales. And, of course, the iconic orca whales are also found in the Weddell Sea, and some of the orca's preferred food is the Weddell seal. Other animals are things like penguins, with the Weddell Sea having one of the largest populations of Adelie penguins in the world, as well as a much smaller but still substantial population of emperor penguins. In addition to penguins, there's other cold-adapted sea and shore birds, such as this one, the southern fulmar, and of course an abundance of petrel species such as this one, the Antarctic petrel. The majority of fish species in the Weddell Sea are very cold-adapted ice fish, such as this one, the Antarctic icefish, which icefish in general have a lot of very interesting cold adaptations. I'll probably make a fuller video on more specific icefish, but they're weird. Specifically, their blood is very weird, but I'll talk about that later. There was also a rather recent discovery involving these guys, the Jonah's icefish, where it was discovered an absolutely enormous breeding ground for these fish, where there was like a nest or breeding site every about 3 square meters, which is an incredibly high population density for fish specifically. So that was a very, very interesting discovery of this just massive breeding area for Jonah's icefish, which was pretty cool. Another common fish is the Antarctic silverfish, which is a bit smaller and is a very good food source for both the seals and the penguins found in the Weddell Sea. There's also a number of different cephalopods found in the Weddell Sea and the larger surrounding Southern Ocean that are very, very rarely seen, including the Antarctic flying squid, as well as this one, a pretty newly discovered species, the Gonatus antarcticus, which was seen alive and filmed for the very first time very recently, which is where this screenshot comes from. It's only been seen alive once before and is only found in the kind of surrounding areas of the Weddell Sea and a couple other places. Additionally, the Weddell Sea is also home to the colossal squid, the largest species of squid in the world, as far as we know thus far. And while we have records of colossal squid going back quite a ways, it was only seen alive again quite recently, and I don't think it was observed alive in the Weddell Sea specifically, but it was very close to the Weddell Sea where it has been seen alive. Despite the fact that the Weddell Sea is one of the most inhospitable places in the world, it does have quite a lot of a very interesting animal life seen there, and while again it is very similar to the Drake Passage, we did cover quite a few things that I didn't mention in the Drake Passage video, and the Weddell Sea is generally just at least a little bit more chill than the Drake Passage, and deserves a video of its own.